This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Well, welcome in, everybody. A great night here. The last Monday of March.
Crazy.
So next Monday, no April Fool's joke. We'll be live with you next Monday for the first Monday of April. And we're also celebrating a little other thing today. Sarge, happy birthday, man.
Hey,
Happy birthday.
thanks. Hey, another year older, and I'm still sexy as ever.
Well, I think most people watching would agree with that one. As you can see, I'm J-Mac. I'm joined here tonight by Crispy Bacon and Sarge. If you fall, it'll hurt. Yes, Sarge, that is true. I wish I had a clever little saying. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had a clever little saying to say. All I could say is don't fall. Don't fall in love. Don't fall anywhere, really.
Worst part is the toilet.
Just don't fall.
Just don't fall. So don't fall. You know, sometimes you hear one of those songs and doesn't matter what genre it is, but you hear a song and you're like, man, that one kind of hurts. You know, you get to a certain point, and just you just like, man, God, where was that song when I needed it 10 years ago? For sure.
No, it's funny. My wife and I were just going through, like, you know, those like reels on Facebook. We were just going through like reels, and this guy does like tries to lip sync some of the songs that like he knows or doesn't know, and puts an X that he doesn't know and stuff, and then it says, "Hey, classics." I'm like, okay, I'm thinking of like 70s rock or something like that, but no, it started with Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. And NSYNC, I was like, that's classic now. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Wait till you ask your kid what they did in school lately, and they tell you that they did a report on why 90s kids should let the 90s go. And the reason that they should let the 90s go is because we live in a world where we are now closer to 1950, or I'm sorry, we're closer to 2050 than we are to 1990. So we should really just let the 90s go. And then it makes me sick to my stomach, and I want to punch him in the face for even bringing that up. But it's true, because 1990 was 34 years ago. And 2050 is only 26 years away.
You're just not making this easier, are you?
No.
Do you know the first thing that popped in my head where you said 1999 was Surge?
Oh man, I haven't drank soda in about 18 months now. But I will tell you what, if someone handed me a Surge, I would drink the whole freaking can.
And go in shock. Because I remember when I was working at Walmart, like they brought Surge back for like a brief time, and I drank. And I was like, "Now I know why I don't drink this crap anymore."
Yeah,
thought my heart was gonna explode.
Oh man, yeah, for sure. You know, as you get older, also, Sarge can probably vouch for this one. You start thinking about your bad habits, right? And
Yeah.
so you got to go get your checkup at the doctor, and they're like, well, you could, your cholesterol's good. You could lose a few pounds. They tell you that every time you're at the fucking doctor, so it doesn't really matter. And then you're like, and they're like, and you really need to quit caffeine. And you're like, hey, listen, all right, hear me out on this. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. Like, I don't chew tobacco anymore. I rarely drink anymore. You take caffeine away from me, and you're going to have to bail me out of prison. I'm just saying.
You're like, don't take the one thing I like.
And I've tried a couple of days to not, but I have a headache by like noon. I just can't do it. I can't not do it.
That's crazy.
It is, man. It is crazy. It is pretty nuts. Don't forget, while we're talking about things coming up, we are going to be we're going to be streaming, broadcasting live at the Backyard Brew Games here in Eugene, Oregon at the Lane Event Center on May the 4th, Star Wars Day. We will be with you all day live for the cornhole tournament. We'll give you some live look-ins. We may pop on camera for a few minutes and talk about some stuff. I will be there. I believe Sarge will be there.
I am trying to be there.
That's going to be awesome. So I know the two of us will be there. A few other people will be there with us. So please don't forget about that. It is going to be amazing. I cannot wait for that, bringing you guys new programming. So that is going to be great. Come check it out with us. Chris, how's your week been, man?
Been good so far. Little rain showers here and there, but not too bad.
Yeah. How's your bracket?
Not too good. I think I still have my champion in there, but other than that, it's bad.
Sarge, how's your bracket?
Well, I think on Friday I was at 90% or 96% good. But after the weekend, it just tanked completely.
Yeah.
So I did not see Gonzaga going that far, to be honest with you.
I know. I picked an upset for them too. I didn't see them going in. However, I do have to say, I filled out 2 brackets before the tournament started, and in one of them, I did pick Oakland to beat Kentucky. So I called that one on one of the brackets. Unfortunately, I didn't call much else correct as far as those go. So I do have Connecticut winning the whole thing. I always pick UConn whenever they're in it. And I think they're the odds-on favorite this year. So we'll see how that goes. But, gents, we are about
2 days,
60 hours or ish away from opening day of Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but that excites the hell out of me. I love baseball.
It's going to be great. It's been a while for that, and so you know what? I'm ready for the season to start.
Just something about that opening pitch, and just I don't know. Baseball is just one of those. I think what I like the most about baseball is there's no game clock. The game just
Well, there is and there isn't, but yeah.
okay, but you play to the last out, right? So
yeah.
Until that 27th out is recorded at the end of the 9th inning when the game's over, like the game's not over. It's never over until that last out. I think that's what baseball. That's what the greatest part of baseball is. Your team's down 3 in the bottom of the 9th inning. The game's not over. So.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, It's a lot different than slow pitch softball.
Well, there's that. That'll be starting for me soon. Yeah. We'll see how that goes this year. Getting older. Hopefully, I don't have to play third base this year. That gets rough as you get older.
Man, I think I could. That's smaller, but that was from 2 weeks ago. That from softball. I mean, like I learned that I don't slide. I cannot slide anymore.
Right? We get older, we still think that we're, we still think we're Superman, and we're not anymore. Looks like Greg is watching. He says, "Let's go Cards." I don't know why you would root for the Cardinals.
We're just not going to talk about that.
I was looking at the rankings. So going into the season, they have, and this is more than one source. They have the Seattle Mariners having the best starting pitching rotation in baseball to start the season.
Yeah, I agree with that. Even last week, I even said something along that because you got Logan, you got Castillo there, and also you got George Kirby, and now we got Bryce Miller coming up. Like he's been practicing quite a bit in spring training, working on his craft. So I do the best. I don't think so, but the top 5, I can put the Mariners there in the top 5, but not the best.
I was telling Chris before the show how funny I think it is that the Dodgers spent all that money on Yamamoto, and all he did was go out and give up 11 runs in the first inning. Was it 11 or I don't know what it was, 7, whatever. It doesn't matter. It might as well have been 100.
It was bad.
It should have been.
Yeah, it was not good.
But during that game, the Dodgers came back also.
I know. Because it's the Padres. Only the Padres could be up 7-0 after the first inning and almost lose the game.
Yeah, that's true. If it was the Mariners, we would have lost the game.
So, I mean, that's exciting. That's coming up Thursday. Can't wait for that. First full weekend of baseball.
Yeah, speaking of baseball, I mean, big news was like Ohtani and in his interpreted gambling scandal.
Yeah, that's big in the headlines.
I mean, a good point was brought up. So should he have to sit out until the investigation is done?
I'm going to say yes, because Trevor Bauer was in the same situation. There's a lot of examples that are out there. I mean, Pete Rose got a lifetime banment for betting on baseball, and there's something that is not like totally right about this whole story, like how Ohtani does not know about the knowledge. I mean, that is like $4.5 million coming out of your bank account. I think you would know.
Right, and you have to ask yourself, if you're in the interpreter's shoes and you know something's going on. Chris, if you're my manager and I'm this big baseball star and I'm spending a shit ton of money like that I'm losing on gambling, and I come to you and I say, hey, Chris, I need you to cover for me. How much will it take for me to pay you off? There would be a number, right? You'd be like, hey, yeah. you pay me $3 million and I'm good. I'll take the fall. I don't even care.
We'll work it out and, all of that. But, yeah, I think you would give a number.
I mean, I'll tell you right now. Someone came to me and they were like, hey, $5 million, you take the fall in this, but you get $5 million in the clear. Psst, done. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Right.
Wow, I'm just too desperate. I'd have done it for 1,000.
Trevor Bauer ended up going to Japan to continue his career after he got suspended from the MLB. He did. And one thing about Trevor Bauer is he's actually been exonerated. Like they found out he did not do what they're saying he did. So should the guy get another shot in Major League Baseball?
Heck yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been doing the exhibition games. His latest one was against the Yankees, and he was teaming up with Robinson Cano with the Mexico Diablos or something like that. And he pitched 3 scoreless innings. I mean, he even said that he will take the league minimum just to play.
I mean, think about that for a minute. The league minimum. You could bring a guy in, the league minimum. And if he comes in and even if he starts 20 games for you, pitches 100 innings, that's 20 more starts and 100 less innings that has to be on your starting pitching, right?
Yeah, that's true. And also,
for the league minimum, and for a lot less money than what you're paying those guys.
That's true. And you're getting a bona fide ace, like an all-star, like a potential Cy Young winner.
I mean, I honestly can't believe that a team like the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Mets, all those big name profile teams, I can't believe they have not taken Trevor Bauer yet. I really can't. I can't believe that they have not given him a shot and re-signed him. He deserves another chance after getting screwed over like he was, for sure. But you know what else? Like, because this is the Bro Code and this is a man's podcast. Thanks for watching, Christy, by the way. But I have to say, I get disgusted when things like this happen and nothing ever happens to the person that tried to ruin his life. Like, what is she going to get out of this? She just gets to walk away from all of it?
Well, she got her 30 minutes of fame. Let's put it that way.
Right, but what does she get? Like, so he is being blacklisted out of baseball. But what does she get? She got her 30 minutes of fame. She gets to walk away. Like, what's her punishment for putting him through what she put him through?
I don't think there was a punishment.
Right. But is that not wrong? Is that not wrong in your opinion?
I think that was wrong.
I mean, at the very least, she should have to face some sort of justice for falsifying a police report, whatever it was that she did, misuse of the justice system, whatever you want to charge her with. There should be some charge on her end for trying to ruin this man's life when he's been exonerated and proven that he did not do this.
Yep, that is definitely true. I mean, I don't like how it went down. I kind of agree with Christy on there. Like, she needs to go to jail for what she did. I mean, I'm up for that because what was like your I forget the terminology where you're trashing someone's character or someone's name or something like
Defamation.
that. Yeah, that's what it pretty much is right there. It's like the whole Johnny Depp and Amanda Heard or whatever her poop bed person name is. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want anyone watching this or listening to this podcast to think that we're for any of that. I think that any kind of assault in any way, whether it's sexual assault, domestic violence, whatever, that's completely disgusting. It should not happen. I'm very against that. But I mean, when the guy's been proven that he did not do this, and she was emphatic that he did do it, there should be some sort of punishment on the other side. Because then maybe it'll only be brought up when it actually happens and people won't make false reports about stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, baseball. So, who's your guys' breakout player? Who do you think is going to be? We're not going to go through all like the MVP and all that. I just want one player for any team that you think is going to be the breakout player of the year.
Chris, do you have one?
Chris.
Chris.
You're mute.
I don't have one.
One player, pitcher, position player. Someone you think is just like no one sees him coming. He's going to have a good year. Last year we had Corbin Carroll. Like no one saw Corbin Carroll playing as well as he did last year for Arizona.
Yeah, I don't have one.
I think for me, I'm gonna reach down deep on this one. I'm gonna go Pete Crow. He's with the Cubs, so I think he's gonna have a breakout year. He was starting to get pretty hot last season, and I think he's gonna actually break out the boomsticks this year on that one.
All right, I mean that's a solid choice. I don't want to get the guy's name wrong. I had his name earlier in my mind, but I want to make sure that I'm saying it correctly. So I'm going to look it up here real quick. But I do think that he's going to have a good year. And he plays with a team that doesn't get a lot of publicity. And I think that always is the way to break out because no one expects anything from you. So he plays for Pittsburgh.
Is it Skeens or Skins?
That's it. Yep. Skeens.
Okay.
Skeens for Pittsburgh. Yeah. I think he's going to be one of those guys he's going to play really well in Pittsburgh and sign with another team. Andrew McCutcheon's back in Pittsburgh for the season. Ended up back there again.
Does he have a walker now, or?
I know, right? Yeah. No
Yes,
doubt. No doubt. Let's ask this question. Biggest Hall of Fame snub to date. Someone who should be in the Hall of Fame who's not.
Of any sport?
Oh, I'm sorry. Baseball.
Ooh. I mean, there's a handful I can say it right off the top of my head.
Just say one.
Just say go.
Just give me Barry Bonds. Let's go down that rabbit hole.
Chris, who you got?
I'll go Barry Bonds. I think he should be in.
Yeah. For me, it's Andrew Jones. I don't know how he's not in the Hall of Fame. There's only two players in history that have 10 Gold Gloves as a center fielder and 450 career homers. Do you know who those two players are?
Who?
Griffey Jr. and Andrew Jones.
I should
Like those are the only two ever. How is Andrew Jones not in the Hall of Fame? I don't understand.
I should have guessed that one.
Like that's
Because he's a Brave. That's why.
I know. I don't know what it is. Like every commissioner has hated the Braves. That's the only way I could feel about it.
Well, that's true because he kind of stole the team away from Milwaukee. I can see that.
Hey, Bud Selig brought baseball back to Milwaukee. He took. I don't know how Seattle doesn't not like Bud Selig. I mean, he stole the team from Seattle and moved them to Milwaukee.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
The old Seattle Pilots back in the day.
Oh, yes. Yes.
He moved them, and they became the Milwaukee Brewers. After the Braves moved to Atlanta and became the Atlanta Braves. But that's beside the point. This one you're going to have – this next segment you're going to have fun with, Sarge.
Okay.
We're going to name off, and let's do this. We can't have the same answers. So let's make it challenging that way. You can't have the same answers, but you get to name off your 5 favorite whiskey brands.
Okay.
And you're gonna go first.
I'm gonna go first.
Yeah.
Oh well. Let's get Pendleton out there.
Okay. I mean, just take Pendleton off the board right away.
Yep. I'm gonna put Jim Beam.
And you're not gonna make this easy, are you?
No, I'm gonna make it even harder. Let's go Buffalo Trace.
Oh, there's 3.
Then we're gonna go Woodford.
No, you bastard. I knew you were gonna take that one.
And let's go. You know what? Let's go with the. I do really like Canadian whiskey as well. So Crown Royal.
Well, Chris, do you have any after he just named those?
I don't. I mean, I can probably find a list, but
No.
I don't have one now.
What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite whiskey?
We'll go Jim Beam.
Yeah, Sarge got that one.
Yeah.
I guess if you're gonna leave me without those choices because Woodford Reserve is my favorite, and Sarge already mentioned that one, so that's off my list, I guess. I guess reluctantly, I'm gonna have to go Wild Turkey. I mean, reluctantly, I don't really know where else to go with this, so Wild Turkey.
I'm already geeky. Oh, that's great.
Maker's Mark.
Okay.
Glenn McKenna.
Ooh, I can't believe I didn't mention that one.
I'm gonna struggle to think of 2 more.
There's one I kind of figured that you would say, but I'm going to see.
Did you take Jack Daniels?
No, I did not, because I don't like gasoline very much.
Yeah. I don't think Jack Daniels would like you saying that.
It
Wow.
does taste like gasoline. I mean,
It well, it just light on fire just as easy.
man, I got 2 left, and I'm struggle to get 2 more. I gotta dig deep here. I'll go Gentleman Jack because Tim Hendricks brought it up.
What about
And I got 1 more. And I don't think I would ever drink this. Oh man. The cinnamon whiskey count?
it's whiskey? It's
Fireball. Let's just go Fireball then.
It's candy.
Southern Comfort. How did we not think of Southern Comfort?
I was like more on the lines of Johnny Walker. It's like, why?
I know Johnny Walker. Yeah.
It's like,
All right. Chris, tell us your favorite beer.
Put me on the spot.
It's kind of the point.
I know. A little Coors, I guess.
Like banquet course, like regular course.
Yeah.
oh, okay, good.
The piss yellow can. Yeah. Okay.
The small little one,
Yeah.
like looks like a medicine jar.
Sarge, you could pick any beer in the world. Which one are you picking?
Well, that's kind of funny because my brother-in-law was talking to me like, if I was going to die, what would be my last drink of choice? I was like, Rainier beer.
Rainier beer. Out of everything you could have, that would be it, huh?
Yeah, I just like it a lot.
Well, look at our fancy guy Tim Hendricks over here. It's like Stella Artois.
That's too expensive for me.
Or Moretti.
Yeah, that's just too expensive, too high class for me right there.
Yeah, I know. High class. Look, this one's going to be weird. Anyone's going to, I guess if I had to think of my last drink, what I would want for my last drink, no one's going to expect this from me. I know that. But if I had to pick my last drink and the last beer I would have to be a good MGD. I don't know why, man. It just goes down smoother the more you drink.
Is that the champagne of beer?
No, that's Miller High Life. I
That's
picked
Miller
Miller
High Life.
Genuine Draft, not Miller High Life.
Oh, but like when I'm on the East Coast though, my go-to like they don't have Rainier beer on the East Coast. My go-to is usually Youngling. That is really good.
Mm. He said his last drink would be a Long Island. Oh God, that's awesome.
I don't know. I'm sticking with Rainier. Yeah.
Chris, down there in Texas, do they
Yeah.
do they still make Kool-Aid?
I know they sell it.
Yeah. Do they sweet tea, right? Is it sweet tea in Texas?
Yeah, they're sweet tea. Hmm.
I like sweet tea, and I've had some good sweet tea, but I've also had sweet tea where I felt like I needed to go get checked for diabetes after I drank the glass.
Oh, yeah. Like, is that sugar I'm chewing on?
Right? You're chewing on sugar, for sure. And some
Yeah,
of the
from
sweet
the
tea,
bottom, and
right? Right. But I'll tell you, you go to the South, man. If you ever visit anybody in the South, and you leave their house hungry, it's your own damn fault. Because people in the South, yeah, man, that's all they do is cook.
Yeah, and it shows.
And
Like
if you
all your
had a
South
Southern
Florida-
grandma, I had a Southern grandma. Like my grandma lived in Missouri, right? You go into her house, first off, it smells like butter
yeah,
from cooking biscuits. And then grease from frying chicken. Right?
Yeah.
Just saying. And she asked you I guarantee you it was every 10 minutes. You sure you're not hungry? There's plenty of food in there in the fridge.
and then
Like
you're
your
like,
grandma,
all right, fine.
we just had lunch a half an hour ago. Well, I know, but you're a grown boy. Yeah, for sure. Tim Hendricks, Texas sweet tea is like liquid cocaine. I don't think you're kidding about that.
Instead of $20 bill, I just need like a straw.
No doubt, right? Right? God dang. Yeah. No bill needed on that one. They see everything's bigger in Texas. Is that true, Chris?
I think sometimes there is, and maybe sometimes. I would say most of the time it is. Yeah.
Have you seen the Cowboys Super Bowl appearance?
No.
It's pretty big. The lack of.
Oh, straight mainline it is what Tim Hendricks is saying.
Give me IV stats.
Right. Oh,
This is not iced tea. Oh, I'm gonna do that in my hospital. Like when I'm in like dying and stuff. I'm just
hey,
like,
you know what's funny is that one of my aunts has never had a drink in her entire life. So I convinced her, and I'm gonna get this in writing before she goes senile and forgets. But I'm gonna get her to sign this piece of paper anyway. I convinced her that when she's on her deathbed, I am allowed to put a shot of alcohol into her IV so she can have a drink before she dies, right?
Okay.
And she's like, how are you going to get past the doctors? And I'm going to be like, I'm going to be straight up. I'm going to be like, it was her dying wish. Are you going to take this away from her?
Moonshine.
Moonshine. Funny story about moonshine. One of my other aunts, we went camping one year, and one of my friends brought some peaches that they had made into moonshine. And so we were drinking the moonshine, eating the peaches. Well, there was one peach in the bottom of the jar. Very
You're
last
trying to dig
peach.
it out.
I left it on the picnic table, and then my aunt's like looking at it, and she's like, "Oh, what are these?" And I'm like, "It's just some canned peaches that someone brought for camping." And she took a fork and ate it. I kid you not. Half an hour later, she's in her chair, and all we hear is she was gone.
She was out of it.
Oh man, she was and she was hungover for sure. Someone who doesn't drink much, like that knocked her out. Have you guys had any good moonshine, Sarge?
Oh, I lived, so probably not.
So probably not.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've had some of like the store-bought stuff, but that's not the real moonshine. I mean, I want to go see like the Moonshiners off the TV show. Moonshiners, actually.
I was gonna say, didn't they make a TV show out of it?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, so I want to see that, but like thinking that, like when you're talking about the peaches, it just reminded me of Jungle Juice. I don't know if you remember Jungle Juice.
I do know what Jungle Juice is. I make it every year for camping, and
Eat the fruit.
people love my Jungle Juice, and they're like, "How do you get it to taste so good?" And I'm like,
Add more alcohol.
I just add more alcohol. I put fruit in mine though, so I put like apples and all the oranges and stuff in there, so that gives it like the fruity flavor. And they've said my Jungle Juice is dangerous because you can't taste the alcohol most of the time, so you just sit there and like drink on it all day long.
Yeah. One time I was drinking that, I called the hospital to see if I could rent a room, and they told me no.
Yeah.
Like, why do you need to rent a room?
I told them straight up, hey, I'm drinking really heavily. Can I rent a room before?
Right? Just have a room. I'll reserve one. I'll be coming in a little while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim says moonshine's so good it melts dentures.
Probably does.
Right?
I can't test it, so.
I mean, there's that. I know I've had moonshine so good I woke up outside. Done that more than one time. In fact, the running joke in the family is that every year at camping, they're like, one night he's going to sleep outside. One of the nights he'll fall asleep outside.
That's the best, though.
It is.
That's the best. Yeah, go ahead.
I know. Well, they're just like, why do you sleep outside? I'm like, because it's cooler outside. It's not. I'm not
And it's
inside
camping.
a hot ass tent that makes me want to puke. Like I'm outside, and then if I puke, all I got to do is crawl away from where I'm sleeping at, puke, and then go right back to where I was sleeping.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I was there on your guys' last camping trip of messing around the tent.
Oh man, it was so. I wish Messer could tell the story better than me, but it's just so funny when you're sleeping in the middle of the night. All you hear is, "Help! Help!"
Sounds like a moose.
And you look over, and all you see is someone like punching the inside of a tent that fell down on top of them. Wake up in a rainstorm in a puddle. All right. I mean, funny story. So I don't know if Sarge was there for this one. You remember playing softball and camping in Powers? Were you ever there for that?
No, I was not there for that one.
Oh man, we had this guy. that we played softball with, Dustin Knowlton. I don't know if you remember Dustin or not either.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah, so he came camping with us in Powers once, and dude got so drunk, like he fell asleep in a camping chair. And we camped down by the river, so he
Oh, no.
fell asleep in a camping chair, and then in the middle of the night decided to stretch out and launched himself back into the river and woke up in the water.
That's great.
Oh man, it was so much fun. We have great times camping. We have to do a bro code camping trip. Oh my god,
I think Broco will no longer exist because of what probably happens.
right? I mean, the last time Tim and I went drinking together, we called Chris at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I think we called the whole network.
and he answered. Chris is the only one that answered.
Well, I think Dragon Viper answered,
I think,
Yeah, he
I
might
think
have.
at some point he did.
or we yelled at him.
Yeah, probably. We yell at
One of the two.
Dragon Viper for a lot of stuff.
Maybe-
Dragon Viper is one of those guys. When you go camping and extra people show up during the day, they're like, "What's there to fun to do around here?" And you're like, "Sometimes we throw shit at Randy." And they're like, "Who's Randy?" "Hey, Randy."
Have you seen that one? I can't remember what it was about. But like, that one commercial or video where they're like, "Hey, what's your name?" And
Yeah,
they said the name, and it's like, "I don't like you," something like that.
I've seen it.
It's kind of like,
Yeah.
dude, where's my car? Dude, what does my tattoo say? Sweet. What does mine say? Dude. What does mine say?
No, what's it say? Dude,
Sweet.
sweet.
Oh, the best movies. Those were the best movies.
Oh man, those were great movies back in the day.
Now they're just all reboots.
I know.
Pretty much. They made
And I
another
saw-
Roadhouse.
Oh God, I'm not even gonna watch it. Like, it doesn't even look anything like the original. I mean,
No.
the original Roadhouse is a movie that bouncers watch and fondle themselves. Like, that's the original Roadhouse.
Oh, that's great. Oh,
All right. New segment. Sarge, what would be your dream three? And it could be any three. It can be celebrities. It can be athletes. But your dream 3 partners for a golf tournament with 4 of you. So you're the 4th person.
oh, 3 at a golf tournament. I gotta have Bill Murray out there.
Mhm.
Tom Brady. Who's going to be my last one? You know what? Let's put Peyton Manning out there with Tom Brady.
There you go.
And
Chris,
Bill
who do
Murray.
you got?
Tiger Woods. Adam Sandler. And we'll go. We'll go Peyton. Peyton Manning.
Man, put on the spot. Well, I know one guy that I would love to golf with because I think it would be a hell of a time. I think you just have fun the whole time. John Daly would be in my 3 for sure. I want to go golf with John Daly, man. Like,
Pick his brain a little.
oh man, John
For a
Daly
while.
would be one. Shooter McGavin would be 2. And the 3rd, Tony Romo. And that's coming from a Packer fan who hates the Cowboys.
I'm surprised he didn't. Well, he is from Wisconsin. I mean,
Yes, he did grow up in Burlington, Wisconsin, but I just think because you would get Romo commentating everything.
yeah.
And then you get John Daly over there drinking and smoking a cigarette and being like, does this guy ever shut the hell up?
Man, he has the awesome outfits. John Daly
Oh.
does.
I've gotten caught up in listening to some of his interviews lately, and they're just awesome. They'll ask him questions of like, "Hey, so is it true that you did this?" And he's like, "No, it's not true that I drank 19 beers in 18 holes because it was 29. It wasn't 19. Just like, no, that's not true."
There's a video out there that he actually kicked like a 35-yard field goal.
Yeah,
Better than Gronk?
Gronk missed. Daly made it.
Daly made it.
No, well, Gronk missed twice.
Well, and it was funny. I know one of the interviews they asked him how like why golf? What appealed to you about to get good at golf? And he's like, "Well, I liked drinking a lot, and I didn't like people telling me what to do. So I tried to come up with something that could make me money to live my life, and I could do what I wanted and drink whenever I wanted to. And well, that's how I became good at golf."
Don't forget about the cigarette
Right?
on the course.
And he doesn't care. Like he has no. I mean, he's been in an interview and they asked him if the PGA's ever said anything to him about, well, you can't show up with this, you can't do this during a tournament, and he's like, yeah, well, I guess then I'm not playing in that tournament. And then they pretty much let him do whatever he wants because they need him there for the sponsorship money. So
He brings in the views. Like, I mean, just look at his outfits. That's what I watch him.
right. I heard God, who was it? I heard it was a celebrity. Oh, they had Kid Rock talking about golf. He showed up to play this celebrity golf tournament, and I guess he was talking mad shit all night the night before. He's like, oh, I could have gone pro, but the music thing got in the way. And so otherwise I'd have been a pro golfer. It's like, I'm talking myself up, all of this. It's like I go up there and hit my first shot right down the middle of the fairway. And these guys were like, oh, man, maybe he could have. Then I hit my second shot, and they all knew I was full of shit.
Oh, Kid Rock, his statements make me laugh also.
Yeah. You ever done that? You guys ever like talked a mad game about being good at something, and then you're good for a little bit, and then you get in the middle of it, and they're like, dude, you suck.
Right. He's like, yeah, I'm good at this. I feel like I'm comfortable. I can beat anybody. And you're like, no, I can't.
Right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Definitely been
like,
there.
I feel like some athletes do that too sometimes. Not all the time, but.
Yeah. For sure. Chris, how's the dating life going?
No, still trying. No luck, but still trying.
Are you gonna be 29 this year?
31.
31.
Yeah.
31. You're in the 30 club now.
I am.
The dirty 30s.
Best times of your life for sure. If you don't have children.
Right.
Look, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I love my kids to death, but damn.
Right.
Just like, damn, really? And especially you hear a loud crashing noise. You know, half the kitchen just fell down into the kitchen, and you're like, what was that? Nothing.
Well, what was it then? I don't know.
Drop the fork.
Yeah. Right? But hey, I don't want to rub it in too much, guys. I have a whole week to myself pretty much. Jennifer's off spring break. She always takes a trip with her sisters. So I'm usually rushing her out the door. And she's like, you going to miss me? I'm like, yeah, by like Thursday. but I'm good the first couple of days. Trust me. Coming home and not having to, because I know you know how this goes, Sarge. You get home, right?
Yep.
And whenever they say, and listen, fellas, this is the phrase. If Tim Hendricks, if you're still watching, I know you'll agree with this one. Listen for this phrase because it happens, and this is exactly the outcome of that phrase. When they say the words, I've been thinking. That means I have to buy, move, lift, remove, remodel. The list goes on. But I'm doing something that I don't want to do.
Right.
Am I wrong, Sarge?
Yeah, because we're getting a new puppy in 2 weeks.
Do you want the puppy in 2 weeks? Right.
I already put the deposit down, so I guess so.
It's funny. I was watching a TV show. I don't even remember the name of it. And this guy's like, well, no, but I'm going to be the king of my castle. She's not going to tell me what to do. And
Good luck.
the married guy's like, well, see, one time she wanted a cat and I didn't. And we compromised and we got a cat. And he's like, yeah, but you're allergic to cats. And he's like, exactly my point.
Sounds about right, yeah.
And why can they do this to us, gentlemen? If you have an anatomy book, I'd be happy to point it out to you.
Yep. Yeah, we were taking the kids to soccer tonight, and like my wife actually coughed, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I'm like, "Are you breathing okay?" She's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Because I took your breath away."
Let me see. The answer to that was, you're an idiot.
Yep. That's what she said. Exactly. And I told her, I was like, I love you. She's like, I tolerate you.
Heard that one too.
Yep.
There's nothing like sitting on the couch, you're watching a movie, a TV show. You just like turn to them and you're like, I love you. And they're like, yeah, me too. But sometimes I really just want to punch you in the face. And I'm like, wait, what? Where did that come from? And then they start in the conversation of, have you ever thought about killing me? No. Have you thought about killing me? Once in a while. And they're like, how would you do it? And then she reminds me that she cooks most of the food in the house. And, she would make it long and miserable because she would poison all of my food, but a very, very small amount so that I would be debilitated and it would take a long ass time and I would suffer. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, talk about cynical.
Yeah.
God, I did something like that. It'd be simple. Just like a wood chipper, just like, bam, done.
See, my wife, like, she'll just punch me. She'll even ask. I'll just be saying, bam. I was like, ow.
Yeah. That's love language, though, right?
It is. It's called physical touch. Times 500.
I know. I mean, they say all you have to do to get them to talk to you is look comfortable. Sit down on the couch and look comfortable for a minute.
Yep.
Hey, Chris, what's the most exciting thing coming up for your summer? You got anything planned this year?
At the moment, I don't. I'm sure something will come up, but at the moment, no.
Sarge, you got anything planned?
Lots of work.
Lots of work.
Work at home because we're getting sod. Then, I think sod's going to come in a few months. than just work.
That
I thought you were
sounds
gonna sing a song for a minute, but
like not fun.
And build another chicken run. There's that.
Yeah. Let's see. What do I got on the schedule? Well, apparently I'm pouring concrete with some guy I've never met in my life. I'm going to be doing that in a couple of weeks. Some contractor, I know his name, but I've never met him, and he's going to be at the house to help me pour concrete, apparently. As so I've been told. That's going to happen. Then I'm building a new fence this summer, which I didn't know I was doing until a couple of weeks ago when I was let know that as well, that I'm going to be building a new fence. So, yeah, it looks like my summer's all lined up, putting in concrete and a new fence.
That
I
seems
guess.
like my last summer.
Yeah. It's always fun when you're the last one to find out stuff that you're doing.
It's even better when you have COVID and someone wants you to like auger the holes for the fence.
Yeah. The fence one, I don't think I deserved it, but I was walking out on the fence one day and I was putting up some new fence posts in the backyard because the dog ruined them. And I noticed that the end of it was like leaning over. And she happened to be out there and I'm like, I don't know what idiot put this fence up, but they did not do a very good job. And she's like, oh, well, that was me and the neighbor. And I'm like, oh, no figures.
It's like, I stand corrected.
Yeah. So, Chris, give us some final thoughts, man.
oh no, thanks everyone for watching and tuning in. Great things coming to coast, like the beer game. The game's coming up, and just stay tuned.
All right, Sarge.
All right, thank you for having me, and thank you for all the birthday wishes. And you know what? It's almost bedtime.
Agreed with that. I agree that it's almost bedtime. Long days coming up, but with no one else at home, like there's no kids here. Jennifer's not here for the week. Like it's actually pretty nice. I can do what the hell I want. I don't have to get dressed. There's a visual for all of you. So I mean that part's pretty cool. I don't have to do any of that. But again, don't forget we got the Backyard Brew Games coming up. We'll be there live streaming that cornhole tournament for you. We got some other stuff coming up on the network. We're bringing you new stuff this year. Getting some of that lined out. I know Sarge is working on a new show. I'm working on an audio side where it's literally just going to be podcasts, no video, just some audio podcasts that we're going to run. That should be fun. Podcasts are always fun to listen to, especially I think we're going to get some like murder ones and just some different kind of podcasts on there. Not everyone wants to see our face all the time. I understand that. Definitely understand not wanting to look at people's faces. But with that said, thanks for watching, listening, however you get your local podcasts. And tell you what, we're going to be here with you as many Mondays as we can. Probably take a couple off during the summer for major holidays, that kind of thing. But hopefully the weather's turning for everybody. You can get out there, get some of that vitamin D from the sun. We know in the Pacific Northwest we'll eventually get some. Who knows when, but we will eventually. With that, we're going to bid you adieu for the night. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you all on the other side.